Okay, so if you've ever tried to get a repair done on your house, you know the drill, right? You make a ton of calls, you get these super vague quotes, and then you basically just cross your fingers and hope someone reliable actually shows up. It is a total mess. But what if that whole system could be fixed? Today, we're diving into a company called Boots and Ladders that thinks it's found the answer to this massive and, let's be honest, incredibly frustrating market. First, let's just wrap our heads around the scale here. Every single year, people in the US spend $800 billion on home services. To put that in perspective, that's way more than the entire global video game industry. We're talking everything from a full-on kitchen remodel down to a simple leaky faucet. It is a colossal part of our economy. And that leads to the big question, right? With that much money flying around, why does the entire process feel so, well, broken? And here's the thing, it's not just a headache for homeowners. Turns out the professionals, the people actually doing the work, are often just as fed up. To really get what's going on, you have to look at this problem from both sides of that home call. Because all the friction in this market, it creates this painful, inefficient experience for the person paying the bill and for the person holding the tools. You know, when you lay it out like this, the problems are almost a perfect mirror image. Homeowners, we want simple things. Upfront pricing, clear results, maybe even instant booking. But at the exact same time, the trade pros are struggling with marketing, trying to figure out how to price their work, and they're often forced to pay for leads, getting stuck in this endless game of phone tag just to land one job. It's a totally disconnected system where, really, nobody's getting what they want. So for the professional, this is the maze they have to run every single day. Just look at this workflow. It is a 6-step grind. You're paying for leads, making endless calls, driving all over town for free estimates, and then only after all of that do you finally get to do the actual work and then chase down the payment. It's just unbelievably inefficient. So Boots and Ladders took a step back and looked at all this chaos, and they completely reframed the problem. They asked, hey, what if the issue isn't the service itself, but the completely broken process of buying and selling it? And that question, well, that's what led to their big idea. This is such a simple but really profound insight. The talented plumber, the expert electrician, they're not the problem. The chaotic, unpredictable, and frankly, soul-crushing workflow is the problem. The idea is, if you fix the workflow, you can fix the entire market. And their solution is this concept they call service as a product, or SAAP for short. The goal here is to take something you can't really touch, like fixing a toilet, and turn it into something you can buy just like a product on Amazon. It's got a clear price, a clear description of what's included, and you know exactly what you're going to get. No more guesswork. It's just a simple, clear transaction. Okay, so that sounds great in theory, right? But how does this actually work in the real world? Well, by productizing the service upfront, Boots and Ladders basically flips the old broken work order on its head, and that creates a much simpler, much more direct process for everyone. For the pro, that crazy 6-step process we saw, it gets replaced with just 3 simple steps. First, they can use data on the platform to see what services are actually in high demand right in their neighborhood. Second, they list that service as a product with a set price. And third, they just start getting job requests from customers who are serious and ready to go. No more paying for leads, no more endless phone tag. And of course, powering all of this is some pretty smart technology. There's an AI engine that matches the right pro to the right job. They have tools that help pros package their skills into these productized offers. And behind the scenes, you've got AI handling due diligence and dynamic work orders, keeping everything organized. The whole point is to give them the digital tools to work smarter, not just harder. So with this new model in place, how does it all function as a business? And what's the long-term vision for this new work order that they're trying to build? This is where they really break from the pack, from the big players like HomeAdvisor or Thumbtack. See, those platforms are basically just directories that sell your contact info to a bunch of pros, which creates this frantic bidding war for leads. Boots and Ladders is different. It acts as a direct marketplace. It connects pros directly with buyers, which completely gets rid of the whole paying for leads game. And they are definitely not thinking small here. Their ambition is pretty significant. The goal is to build a massive community of 100,000 professional users on the platform by 2035. That's a huge empowered network of skilled tradespeople. So how do they make money? Well, the business model itself is built on a freemium structure. The main platform is totally free for any pro to use and connect with buyers. The revenue comes from converting about 20% of those users to a paid Boost subscription. For about $20 a month, it gives them premium visibility for a specific service, like, say, water heater replacements. And when you do the math on that, the vision gets really clear. If they hit that target of 100,000 users and convert 20% to that paid tier, that translates to nearly $5 million in annual recurring revenue just from subscriptions by 2035. And that brings us right back to where we started, the absolutely massive size of this opportunity. That $800 billion market we talked about, it's already projected to grow to $1.2 trillion by 2031. In a market that vast, there is plenty of room for a disruptive new player to come in and make a serious impact.
But at the end of the day, the mission here goes beyond just the technology and the numbers. In the founder's own words, it's about building a direct marketplace by the people, for the people, to thrill every customer with on-time service and outstanding results. So the goal isn't just about efficiency. It's about empowering the people who are actually out there doing the work.
So it all leaves us with one final thought. I mean, we've watched technology completely transform industries we never thought would change, from how we catch a ride to how we book a trip. The question is, can a platform built on this really simple idea of service as a product finally be the thing that brings the world's oldest and most essential trades into the future?